If you are interested in learning some basic Linux server commands, this is the video for you. I'm going to be showing you some of the basic Linux commands you have to know, or you must know, as a server administrator. If you are getting into the world of Linux or server administration, it's important you understand these basic commands. So before we get started, you need a terminal, or you need a Linux server to work with. For me, I have my operating system as Ubuntu. Because of that, I can simply illustrate using my built-in terminal. If you don't have terminal, you can equally use shell or PowerShell on your Windows machine. If you also use Mac, you can equally use the built-in terminal on Mac. That's enough. Let me now show you some of the basic Linux commands you need to know. So the very first Linux command I want to show you is ls, which stands for list. We're going to list the content inside our current directory. So when you type ls, you're going to see all the items inside this directory. And that's not all. ls has other attributes. So if you want to show hidden files, you can type ls-a to show hidden files. And you can see we have some hidden files here. So when you append -a, you're going to see the hidden files. And that's not all. We also have ls-l, and this is going to list a detailed, or give you details about these files or items. So hit enter again, and it's going to show you everything about, or every attribute associated with these items. Let's look at the next Linux command, which is clear. So if you want to clear or clean up your screen, you simply type clear, hit enter, and it's going to clear your screen and give you enough space to start or continue working with. So clear is a handy command we use to make room for us to type inside our terminal. Next up, I'm going to show you another command, that is make directory. If you ever wanted to create a directory or a folder, what we do is we type make directory, so mkdir, and you specify the name of the folder you want to create. For demo purposes, I'll put solo. Let me just enter Solomon. Hit enter, and a folder called Solomon has been created inside this directory. To see that or confirm that, type the ls command that I taught you, hit enter, and you should now see that directory inside your desktop directory. Next, we want to see how we can copy things. So the way we do that is, we want to copy this document or this txt file and put it inside this directory. So the command we use is cp, which stands for copy, and we're going to enter the name of that document. So for this, we have to put quotes, and then we enter the name of that. So we put right, hit tab, and this will auto complete the name for us. Now we're going to specify where we want to put this text document. So for this, we specify the folder we want to copy and paste this document into. So what we do is we just type the directory name, which is Solomon. hit enter, and this document has been copied into this directory. If we list again, nothing is going to change because we have to go inside this directory in order to see our document. So what we do is we want to navigate into this folder. So the way we navigate into a folder is CD. You are going into the folder. So we change directory into Solomon's directory or folder. Now hit enter and we are inside Solomon's folder. Now we can list the content inside and we should see this document in it. Hit enter and there we have it. Alright, so I taught you how to copy things from one location to another. Now I'm going to show you how to delete this document. The way we do that is we simply type sudo remove and you specify the name of that document or item. Now the reason we put this sudo is we have to we are performing, because we are deleting, we need to be the admin in order to delete. That's why we put sudo. So sudo simply means you are the admin. Okay, you have all the privileges to delete things. So we put sudo remove and we specify the name of our document or item we want to remove. So put quotes again, enter the name of the document we want to remove, hit tab and hit enter. Now let's enter our password and that item is removed. Now let's list and nothing is there. Now that we've removed that, let's go back to our desktop because we are right now inside a folder called Solomon, which is inside desktop or on desktop. So we want to go back. So the way we go back is we change directory, put 2 dots, so up 1 level. So 2 dots means up 1 level. Hit enter and we are back to our desktop. Now let's clear our screen once again. Now we have space. So I'm going to now show you how to create a file, a txt file. After that, I'll show you how to move it or cut it to a different location because I taught you how to copy. So I want to now show you how to create a file and then move it or cut it onto another location. So the way we create a text document or file is we use a command called touch. Okay, so we want to use the sudo and then we put touch. After that, what we want to do is we enter the name of the file we are creating. So solo.txt. So we're creating a file called solo.txt inside or on our desktop. So hit enter. Now let's list and we should now have a new file called solo.txt. We're going to move this file into this directory. So move is the same as cut. Okay, if you are moving something, it's like you cutting it, so it's not going to be in the on its original location. So the way we move is we type mv, specify the name of our document, so we put txt. Now let's specify where we want to paste it. That's the destination. So let's put our folder's name, so Solomon, hit enter. Now we've moved this into our this directory. Now let's list, and as you can see, we don't have Solomon again on desktop. Why? This is because we've moved it into the Solomon's directory. Let's confirm that by cd. So we're going into we're changing a directory to Solomon. Now let's see. Now inside here we're going to list, and now we have it inside. So you've learned how to move and how to also copy things. This time I'm going to show you how you can put text inside your document. So we're going to clear our screen again, and the way we put text inside is, let me list. Now the way we put text inside is we are going to use a text editor called Nano. There are other text editors Linux provides, but the one I like is Nano. We also have Vim. All right, you can use Vim. So I'm going to use a text editor called Nano. So first, we must be a sudo or administrator before. So we put sudo, so super user do. I'm going to use Nano, and we mention the name of our text document. Now hit enter, and this document is opened. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to enter our text. So this is our first text. All right, Control S, you have saved. Control X is to close the text document or the text application called Nano. So now that we have text inside our text document, we can simply see or view what is inside without opening it. So the way we do that is we use another command called cat. So we're going to see what is inside that text document called cat. So when you enter cat and specify or enter the name of your text document, hit enter, the text that is, or the content that is inside this document will be printed out. Okay. In this part of the video, I'll be showing you how you can rename folders or items. We're going to rename items. So the way we do that is we still use the move command to rename items. Now let me list the content inside my solo directory, and I'm going to create another folder inside this directory. So we make directory and we put folder 1, hit enter. We list again, and now we have folder 1 and we have solomon.txt. We're going to rename these items. We're going to give them different names. So folder 1, I'm going to give it a new name called folder 2. And with solo.txt, I'll give it a new name called dongbone.txt. So the way we do that is we use the move command. The move command can be used to rename things. So you have to enter move. After that, you enter the name of your old folder, okay, the current name. So put folder 1, which is the current name, and we're now going to give it a new name called folder 2. Okay, hit enter, list again, and folder 1 will now change to folder 2 because we've renamed it. Now we have folder 2. Let me clear this screen, list, and we're also going to rename this to something like dongbone The same thing we did. We just enter the old name, and then we now enter our new name. All right. List, and now there we have it. The next Linux command we are going to look at is pwd, which is print working directory. Let me clear my screen before. Now, pwd, which stands for print working directory, this comes in handy when you want to know your current location. Sometimes working on servers, you might not know where you are, your current location. So this command will help you know where you are. So it will tell you, it will print your working directory or your working path. Next up, we're going to zip or archive files, folders. All right. Now, if you have ever used Windows, we have compress. So the archive property or command is going to help us compress files. So the way we do that is, I want to go back one level to desktop, list, and I'm going to compress this folder called solo into a zip file. So we use a simple command called tar. After you enter the command tar, we put dash and we're going to create. So C stands for create. We're going to create our archive. So you put C. You enter V, which is verbose. All right. So it's going to list all the files that will be archived. Okay. So inside here we have two items. Okay. So it's going to list all the items that will be archived. We have a folder called folder 2 and a file called dongbone.txt inside here. So the V will list all the items that will be archived. And F, the F is going to specify the file's name. So when you now put the F, that means you have the chance to specify your file's name. So I have this folder called Solomon directory. Okay, Solomon. So I'm going to specify my file's name. So I can put solo zip. Okay, solo zip or Solomon dot tar. All right. Now, after we specify our new or our zipped file's name, we have to now tell Linux what we are archiving. So we'll put this path there, which is Solomon. Now hit enter. And you can see the verbose. This has listed all the items. All right, you see. Now let's list. And now we have our archived file here. And that's the name we specified. I just taught you how to zip or archive a file or folder. Now let's see how we can unzip this our zipped file. Before we do that, let's delete this folder because the content inside here is the same as what is here. So it's going to override this directory. So this is the time for you to learn a new command, which is rm. We're going to remove this directory. Now it's going to give us an error telling us that the directory is not empty because there's something inside. So hit enter. Now cannot remove is a directory. Okay, so what we do is we still put rm r, and then we enter the name of the directory. Now we've deleted it, it's no longer there, so this will force it. Okay, recursive. Now let's unzip this. The way we unzip is we still use the tar dash extract. We want to see the content that we are extracting, and we specify the file's name. So we put the name of our zipped file, hit enter, and you can see because of the v, we are seeing this, right? It's printing out the content. So let's clear. Sorry, let's clear. When you're running commands, you have to be extra careful. So now that we cleared, let's get the list, and we have it back because the content inside here has been extracted here. Our next Linux command is echo. So if you type echo and enter some text, right? Something like this is my first Linux command. Hit enter. It's just going to print what you typed out here. So we can use that to redirect, or we can write this onto a file with the help of our echo. So let me list, and we're going into our directory, which is the solo directory. So change directory to solo, mon directory, list, and we have this file inside. Let's see the content inside by typing cat, and this is the content inside. Now I'm going to write new content, a second line. So the way I do that is you can put echo. Okay, now we're going to, so this is our second text, right? Now we're going to redirect that, right? So we're going to pass it over to our file called dongbone.txt. Hit enter. Now let's cut again and enter that file's name, that dongbone.txt. So dongbone.txt, and we have our text there. This is our second text inside. See that? This is our second text. We can use the nano again. Nano dongbone.txt, and you see. So if you want to put text inside a text document, you can use the echo command. Let me exit that, right? We can try it one more time by entering echo again, and this time we're going to enter plenty text. So this is my first time learning Linux. Now we'll print it inside our dongbone.txt. Now let's just cut dongbone.txt, hit enter, and you see that it's there, right? So if you want to put text inside a text document, you can use the echo. The next Linux command I want to show you is man. So when you are stuck and you don't know how to use a certain command, with the help of man, which stands for manual, you can know the use of a command by just typing man and entering the name of that command you want to know how to use it. Hit enter and it's going to give you detailed description for that command. So right now this is ls command with its attributes, and this is the description how to use the ls command. Just hit Q. You can put man echo, and this will show you how to use the echo command. Displays a line of text. All right, hit Q again, and that's how you use the man command. Now the next series of commands are for basic system information. If you want to get basic system information, you simply use those commands. So I simply clear my screen. Okay, and the first Linux command we want to look at is id. This will show you your id, everything about your machine. You will see everything here. You're a super user, right? Your name, the group you belong, all those things can be found, or can be printed out with the help of id. Now we have who am I. Let's say you're working with multiple user accounts and you want to know the account you are or you are logged in with. You can simply type who am I and it will print out your username. So that's the next command, who am I. All right, so next up, let's look at date. If you want to know the current date and time, you simply put date and it's going to print out everything here for you. And that's the date command in Linux. Next up, we have ping. All right, so this is actually a network command for networking. If you want to know the uptime of a website, you simply type ping, enter the IP address of that site, okay, and it will tell you the uptime. So enter a random IP. This is a localhost IP. Hit enter, and it's going to tell you this server is up and running. Right? We are getting a response back. So let's exit that, clear our screen, and that's the use of ping to know whether to get the heartbeat of a server. If you get a response back, it means the server is up and running. Okay, so next up we have SU, switch user. Okay, so if you want to switch a user to different user, something like switching to a root user, you can just put SU and specify the name of the user you are switching to. Right, enter the password, and you are now switched to that user as the root. Now let's switch back, type in SU, and we're going to switch back to our original user. So we switch back to that user. So that's the next command I want us to learn, switch user. Another command I want us to learn is top. So this will print out all your top processes. So this one will give you all the programs that are running in your system. So this is for monitoring purposes. Okay, and that's top. So we close that by holding down Q and then we clear. Our next line of command is uname dash a, hit enter, and it's going to tell you the Linux device you're using. So this is Ubuntu. You get all the information you need at one location or in one place. Okay, so next up we have add user. So if you want to add a user to your Linux server, just put add user, enter the name of the user you want to add. All right, so something like Mike. You are adding this user called Mike, but before that you need to be a root user in order to add this user Mike. So the way we do that is just put sudo before you can add this user. All right, wait patiently. Now let's enter the new password for this user. Hit enter, enter password again, hit enter. Now enter the first name for this user. If you want, you can enter. If you don't want, hit enter to skip. Enter, enter again, and enter. Now, is the information correct? Because this is capital Y, when you hit enter, it's going to confirm it's correct. So now we can switch user to Mike, right? You can switch user to Mike because this user now exists. But what I want to do is I want to list all the users on this machine. So the way I do that is, let me see where I am. Print working directory. So let's go back to home. Okay. All right. So let's go back to home list. And you can see these are all my users. All right. Mike, this user, my user, and other users. Okay. So clear. And that's how you use the add user command. Next up, I'm going to show you how you can change the password for a user as the super admin. So what we need to do is we type sudo and then you put password wd. So we just put pass wd, enter the name of the user you want to change the password, hit enter. Now we're going to specify our new password. All right, so new password, and then let me see, new password again, and we've successfully updated our password. All right, so that's a very helpful command to take notice of, which is the password command. Another command I want us to take a look at is the host name command. So if you're working on a live server and you type host name, you're going to see your host name. Right now, this is my host name. All right. But most host names come with .com, .net, .io, .ai, okay. So I hope you get the idea now. All right. But because this is my local machine, you're seeing my PC name as my host name. Another command is the exit command. So when you type exit, it's going to close your terminal or it's going to log you out. So I'll clear my screen and show you the next commands. And these commands are for storage utilization, something like knowing your storage, your space. So if you want to know your free storage or your free available space, all right, your available space, what you need to do is just put free, hit enter, and you're going to see this data, your used space in kilobytes. But this is not human readable because we want to have them in gigs and not kilobytes. So just put free again, dash h, and this human readables, and you should now get them in gigs and megabytes. You can equally use the df command to know your directory file sizes, okay, or your directory sizes. df human readable, and you should now get them in human readable format, gigs, kilobytes. So they now have these units attached. And we have another one called directory usage, human readable, and you can see a list of directories with their sizes. All right, now the final commands I want to show you are for networking purposes. So if you want to download a file from the net, you can use a command called wget. You can also use a curl command. So this is for retrieving information from the net. The way we learn wget is, I want to take you back to desktop. All right, so let me see, let's go back to inside here. We'll go to desktop list. All right, so inside desktop we want to download a file using the wget command. So let's put wget command. I'm going to pass a URL here. So where do we get this URL or our download link? Let's go back to Google and we're going to type WordPress download. Click on their download link, scroll, and this is their download link. Right click on it, copy link, go back to terminal, and we're going to paste that link here. Now hit enter, and it's now going to download this file for us. So let's wait patiently for this file to get downloaded. After that, we'll see if it's successful. So right now it's downloading WordPress. We've downloaded WordPress. Now let's list, and we should now have WordPress files here, or zipped file here. Okay, so we use the wget to download things from the net. Let's clear our screen, and we're going to use curl. So with curl, you can see you can use it to view an HTML document. So something like, let me type google.com. all right, hit enter, and as you can see, it's going to print the HTML document. Now let's put www. all right, www, hit enter. You can see this is a lot of information. All right, so I just want to tell you how we use these commands. All right, so you can use it to view a web document. One final command I want us to learn before we close this or end this video is, I want us to look at SSH. So SSH is a command we use to log in onto a server. So just type SSH, enter the name or the username of your server at the IP of your server. So I'm going to enter my local IP, right, like this. Hit enter. Yes, enter. Password, enter. Permission denied, right? So you have to enter the right password and it will allow you to log into your server. Okay, so that's it. That's how you use these commands to that's how you use these commands as a server administrator. Hey guys, this video is part of my Linux series videos. Like if you want to learn how to protect your Linux server, I have this playlist and I'm adding other videos to the list, something like installing cyber panel, backing up your server, and a lot of cool stuff coming up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe because I have cool videos coming up on this channel. All right, so thank you and have a lovely learning experience.